Hello, everyone. I'm Ruby, a single mother who once had a loving family. This is a story about how my husband lost the bond with me and our children. Although it happened some time ago, I'm well on my way to healing. I'm sharing this now so others don't make the same mistakes I did. Art has always been my passion. I've been painting since I was a child, inspired by my mother, who was a talented artist herself. Even though she never found fame, I always admired her work. Our family was modest, with my father as the primary provider. Despite not working, my dad always praised my mother for caring for us. I thought love and respect were all a marriage needed to thrive. But I was wrong. Growing up, I was quiet and introverted with few friends. My grades were decent, but nothing extraordinary. I dreamed of attending art school and my parents supported me wholeheartedly. Everything seemed perfect until I met Chris in high school. We studied together for a while, but didn't really speak until one day when he approached me. "Hey Ruby, right? I'm Chris. I don't think we've ever talked before." "Hi, Chris. What's going on?" "I was wondering if you could do me a favor. I saw your sketches in the locker, and I think they're amazing." "Thanks, I appreciate that. With Mother's Day next week, I wanted to give my mom something special, maybe one of your sketches. I'll help you with your math homework for a week in exchange." "I'd love to. Math isn't my strong suit, so that sounds great." "Awesome. How about we meet up at a coffee shop for the exchange? I'll grab the drinks." I was so thrilled someone liked my work enough to turn it into a gift, and that's how I started spending more time with Chris. Our coffee dates quickly turned into full-fledged dates. Chris was a straight-A student with a bright future, and I was flattered that he wanted to spend time with me. He was well-liked by everyone, always standing up to bullies, and it was easy to fall for him. Chris had big dreams of earning a business degree and taking his father's company to new heights. "I want to make my dad's business bigger and better. He's built something great, and I want to take it to the next level." "And I know you will. You're going to make it into your dream college. I hope you get to pursue your art as well. You've got so much potential." "I love that you get me. You've been by my side through everything. Remember when I won that painting competition? You cheered louder than anyone." I was lucky to have such a supportive boyfriend. He introduced me to his family before prom, and I immediately clicked with them. I got especially close to his mom, Tammy, and we spent a lot of time together before I left for art school. Chris went on to a prestigious college to study business, while I followed my artistic dreams. We were both heading toward our goals. I even introduced him to my family during Christmas, and they loved him. Tragedy struck when my parents died in a car crash while I was still in college. I was devastated, and Chris became my rock, helping me with funeral arrangements and supporting me through panic attacks. I thought I could always count on him. Unfortunately, I was wrong. 6 months later, I found out I was pregnant. I was overwhelmed with joy but also anxiety. I had just lost my parents, and now I was going to be a mother. My studies were already challenging, and now I had to balance it all. Tammy, ever the help, moved closer to help babysit while I continued my studies. Chris's father lived out of state, so it wasn't an issue for him. With everyone's support, we prepared for the arrival of our baby boy. But after my son Daniel was born, everything changed. My delivery was traumatic, and I struggled to recover. I had to drop out of college due to postpartum depression and other health issues. I felt heartbroken, but my son needed me to be strong. Tammy and Chris were my main supports, but Chris slowly started to grow resentful. I can't help but think that this is your fault. I can't go out anymore while you're just at home with Daniel. I'm the one working my butt off to support both of you." "I'm sorry, Chris. I'm still recovering. I'm trying my best to find a job, but Daniel's too young for a babysitter. Tammy's already working hard to help us. Please give me some time. I'll find something." "What job would even hire you? Your degree's useless, and you've already blown through your inheritance on medical bills. You're just sitting here doing nothing." "Don't say that, Chris. You know how much art means to me. You supported me when I went to college. I never imagined this would be my situation. I will find a way to help. Just give me a few months." Chris just walked away, and I cried after putting Daniel to sleep. His words kept echoing in my mind. I made a decision that night to start looking for work, no matter what. I was determined to ease his burden. A few days later, Chris called and apologized, saying his friends had been influencing his thoughts. I forgave him right away. Within a week, I found a job. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Tammy helped with most of the childcare while I worked. I even made Chris quit his job so he could focus on his studies. We were barely getting by, but we managed. As time went on, Chris' attitude improved, and he promised to take care of me when he became financially independent. I told him I loved him and wanted nothing more than for him to achieve his dreams. After Chris graduated and took over his father's business, things started looking up. His father passed away within a year, but Chris pushed forward and improved the company. I had to quit my job to take care of Daniel because Tammy was grieving and couldn't help as much. With Chris's success, he was able to support us, and I focused on being at home. As his business grew, I celebrated his achievements with big parties and lots of joy. One day, I told Chris I wanted to go back to art school. I still had some inheritance left that could cover a year of tuition, and after that, I planned to work to fund the rest of my education. But Chris wasn't supportive. Why would you want to go back to school? An art degree is useless. It won't help you get a job. You're just wasting money. This is my dream, Chris. You achieved yours. What about mine? Well, my dream is to bring in money. Your hobby isn't going to help us. I can't have people laughing at me for your degree. You should stay home and take care of our son. I was stunned. We'd argue for days without finding common ground, but I was determined to prove him wrong. I wanted to follow my dream, but life had other plans as I found out I was pregnant again, this time with a girl. Chris became even more insistent that I stay home, arguing that the kids needed me there. I reluctantly agreed. My second birth was less complicated, but managing both a toddler and a newborn was incredibly difficult. Chris was completely uninvolved, only working and complaining about being tired. He never helped with the children. I was surprised when, out of nowhere, he proposed to me. I thought Chris was trying to improve, and that made me happy. We had a big wedding that I thoroughly enjoyed planning, and Chris pampered me throughout the process. I believed he was doing it to make me happy, but it turned out he was only doing it to maintain the image of a loving husband. After the wedding, I might as well have been invisible to him. He worked all day in his office, and there were no date nights or family time. He never cleaned up after himself, and I felt like his personal assistant, constantly being ordered around. The kids missed their dad, but when he was home, he wanted to be left alone. I didn't ask him for help anymore after he ignored my requests in the first year of our marriage. But the children's pain was eating at me. One day, I said, Chris, why don't we have a family outing this weekend? The kids really miss you. I have a business meeting this weekend. I'm busy. You need to make time for your family, Chris. We're important too. Daniel has been crying for you. You even missed his recital. What can I do, Ruby? I don't have the luxury to stay home with them like you do. At least someone has to earn money, right? A failure like you wouldn't understand. Stop telling me what to do. Chris, what's wrong with you? Why are you insulting me like that? You know, I wanted to go back to college, but you didn't let me. Of course I didn't. Why would I let you waste money on that? You should have invested it in my business. Look how much money it's making. His words stung deeply, and I began to see how much he had neglected me over the years. It hurt when he insulted me like that, making me feel worthless. I should have walked away, but I didn't. I wanted our children to have both parents under one roof. I thought Chris was just stressed and that he would apologize later, but the apology never came. As the years passed, the kids grew older and started to notice Chris's behavior. They were no longer attached to him. Gloria never saw him as a loving parent, so she didn't care about his attention. Daniel, however, remembered a time when Chris had been more loving, but the disappointment of missing every milestone added up. I tried everything to fix things, begging Chris to pay more attention to the children. You need to make time for the kids, Chris. I'm already working hard and looking after them. I'm the only one doing all the parenting. I know you don't want me anymore, but the kids are suffering. They've already become detached from you. I know how to be a parent, Ruby. I'm the one feeding the three of you. You don't have to lecture me. When Daniel became a teenager, he started resenting his dad. I tried to explain that Chris loved him, but Daniel wouldn't believe it. All his friends had fathers who were present, and he felt left out. I supported him through every event, but he wanted his dad there too. One evening, Daniel confronted Chris during dinner. Hey Dad, are you free this weekend? Gloria wants a picnic. The weather is perfect. That sounds nice. What do you think, Chris? I asked, hopeful. No can do. I'm going golfing with my buddies. It's one day, and you can't make time for us? Why did you even become a dad if you didn't want to be around? Watch your mouth, Daniel. I'm your father, and you will respect me. I have work to do, not sit around like your loser mother. Ruby, what are you teaching my children? They don't even respect me anymore. I thought you failed in your career, but now I see you can't even be a good mother. Stop insulting Mom. She's a way better parent than you are. How do you expect her to have a career when you never helped her? I saw everything over the years. Enough, Daniel. There's no use talking to him. We have Mama, and that's enough. We'll go out with Mom and Grandma. At least one of us has sense. It's okay, kids. I'll take you on the picnic. We'll do something fun without Dad. I didn't want to upset Daniel or Chris, but I noticed Gloria, who had always been indifferent towards her dad, didn't even care for his opinion. She didn't want his attention. I thought it was my fault for not fighting harder with Chris for our family, but I later found out Chris had been cheating on me with a business associate. I didn't confront him. It would have been pointless. When Daniel left for college, Gloria was determined to follow in my footsteps. She was an even better artist than I had been and was set on joining art school. Daniel supported her, but I knew Chris would explode when we finally had the conversation. Gloria, you're graduating this year. Do you have a plan? I mean, what are you good at? Don't talk to her like that. She's a good student, Chris. Well, I'm going to art school. I don't need your approval, Dad. I have Mom, Daniel, and my teachers for support. Art school, Ruby? Did you fill her head with your nonsense again? Gloria, don't waste your life like your mother did. Do you want to be a failure? Mom didn't fail because of her. She failed because of you. Thankfully, I have all the support I need to be successful. Don't talk to me like that. There's no way I'm paying for this. What? You don't have to. I've got scholarships lined up. You don't have to support me. It's nothing new. Calm down, Chris. Gloria is really talented. Please try to be supportive just this once. But Chris kept shouting at me for spoiling the kids, calling me a failure in front of Gloria. After years of abuse, I had enough. I sent Gloria to her room before confronting Chris. I'm tired of your verbal abuse, Chris. You've been a horrible husband. I stayed for the kids, but if I had known you'd be such a bad father, I would have walked away sooner. Don't you dare call me a bad father. I put food on the table. You're all nothing without me and my money. I would have made something of myself if you hadn't held me back. You can keep your money, Chris. I don't need it. I'm divorcing you after Gloria graduates. I'm done. You can't leave me after all I've done for you. I deserve better. Well, maybe you don't deserve me, especially after cheating on me with your colleague. I know everything. Chris was speechless, sitting there, head in his hands. He didn't say a word. The next few days, I prepared for my exit. I talked to Tammy, Daniel, and Gloria. They all supported me. I'm sorry he did this to you, Ruby, Tammy said. Chris's father would be disappointed in him. It's not your fault, Tammy. Chris is the one responsible. I served Chris divorce papers just after Gloria's graduation. Chris begged me to reconsider, saying, Please, Ruby, I messed up. I love you. Give me a chance to fix things. You made your bed, Chris. I'm done. I stayed for too long. I gave you chances. This marriage ended when you stopped trying and cheated on me. I don't love her. It was just stress. She doesn't mean anything. Please, Ruby, I can change. I don't care anymore. You've stripped away every ounce of dignity I had. I deserve better than you. Thanks for reading, and see you next time. Stay stunned.